Namaskar. Hello, friends. Today we will continue with looking at a couple of more metaphors for describing this world and our life in it. Let's look at river. Consider a river. Every single moment, it is in all the three states: creation, sustenance, and destruction. Every moment, it is coming out of its source, flowing along and merging with the ocean. In fact, the ocean water goes up as clouds and returns as the river. So the source of river is the ocean. Its state of flowing is only a manifestation of its source, the ocean, and it ultimately merges back with the ocean. If and when the ocean disappears, there will be no river. If you consider the river as a whole, it is always the same. It is only our way of looking at it in patches that makes it appear different at different times and places. Our life is also like the river. We are also getting created every moment, living and getting merged with the Supreme One. It is simply the manifestation of the inspiration felt by our source, that is Brahman, God, whatever you want to call it, to experience the illusory play of many. So, every moment of our life, there is a momentary blip that appears only to disappear immediately. Thus, if we look at it as a whole, nothing is really happening. Yet it appears as though something is happening all the time, only because we look at it in bits and pieces. If and when that inspiration of the source is no more, all the creation will also be no more. If we can look at life as a whole, bearing in mind the above, we will be able to be a mere witness to the game of life. The river has its own attributes in terms of the water it contains, its flow, its tendency to seek the lowest level, the kinetic energy that its flow contains, etc. It, however, does not bother about the course it takes, the surroundings, the external influences on it during its course, etc. Its water is clean at one place but dirty at another. It flows as torrents down the hill slopes and turns into a quiet current on plains. It goes round an obstacle in the form of a hillock and jumps down a cliff, which is waterfall, when so required. It ultimately loses its identity when it merges with the sea. I should go through life like a river. Another metaphor is of a rigorous imprisonment. We all know that a criminal convicted to rigorous imprisonment is put in a jail and is made to engage in some rigorous physical work for the period of sentence. During his term of such imprisonment, he is assigned some hard physical work suitable for him as per the rules of the jail. Different prisoners may do different tasks like breaking stones, weaving cloth on a handloom, gardening, construction labor, etc. It's a daily grind with nothing to look forward to except the end of the jail term and release. Of course, Some of the prisoners, or maybe most, do get used to the routine and even start enjoying it. They form friendships with other prisoners and develop their own ways of having a good time, even inside the jail. If a prisoner puts in his daily assigned quota of physical work sincerely and behaves well, he may be released earlier, even before completing his sentence term in accordance with the legal provisions. Otherwise, he has to complete his term in the jail. I consider human life as a rigorous imprisonment. One comes into life to undergo a certain term of imprisonment in this body and in bondage to the senses and ego. One has to undergo the rigors associated with pleasant and painful sense experiences as well as ego hurts and pleasures. The imprisonment term may extend over many lives. So, end of one life by death may still not bring about release from the bondage, and one will have to keep returning with another body and yet another one, and so on, to complete the whole term. Most of us humans get attached to this rigorous imprisonment and even start loving it. They play their own games, making certain rules. They engage in transactions with others and get submerged in profit and loss. They form their own ideas of what they should look forward to and what they should avoid. Only a few develop a complete disinterest in this prison of life. They have no interest in the day to day routine and do not look forward to anything particular in the short or medium term. Their sight is fixed only on the ultimate release from this bondage. So, while serving the assigned daily rigors faithfully, without expecting anything one way or the other from it, they simultaneously engage in a spiritual sadhana, that is meditation, honestly, sincerely, and perseveringly. Such persons may be granted a release from the bondage even before the assigned term is completed. This ends my metaphors. We will stop here today and continue the next time. Bye until then.